I'm walking on the GitcheeGami bike trail. There goes a few of the people using it. As you can see, we're close to the highway, but occasionally it veers down closer to the lake, but so much nicer than walking on the road. We love this trail. Here you can see how the bike trail does come close to the shoreline at times. There's a really pretty little bay down there. You could stop and picnic table under the trees and could get down to the shore. September 15th. We're starting at Gooseberry State Park this morning. It's a gray, cold day. One lone gull hanging out at the rocks. We will do a bit of shoreline here, if we can. This is the mouth of the Gooseberry River. Pretty small flow right now. And we're going to go back this way, walk through this volcanic tunnel or alleyway, I guess you'd call it, back to the shoreline. These posts are one of the more interesting aspects of Gooseberry's coastline here. I'm assuming they were built in the 30s during the CCC time. Back there you can see the lodge building that was also built then. I'm not sure. I guess they were just considered decorative as well as maybe a little bit of protection, people to stay back from the cliff edge, but because they're big chains. But now they are lichen-encrusted monuments to that time in our history, when young men were being recruited during the most severe Depression time to come and do great things in our parks, build structures that are still being used today. It's a very good use of human energy and lake near this shore is a rocky slope. It's really very moody on a morning like this. I like it.
Walking along the shoreline of Gooseberry, we're here on these volcanic flows, and you can see in them various shrinkage cracks that have helped the water to excavate little ponds and places where little critters can enjoy the summer away from big fish that might eat them. And Kate is wandering up this way. We're doing this coast on a rather cool and blustery day, but then that's part of the Lake Superior story. So we're happy to be able to do this stretch rather than being on Highway 61. After this, we're going to have a hard time getting down to the rocks. And as those who have followed the story know, our effort is to be on the shore and on these rocks, no matter how difficult it is, much more than we can do on the shores of, or on the highway of 61, 17, and all of the ones that we've periodically had to cover. Ah, Kate says it reminds her of being in Ireland, so that's a good thing. So they're wrecking on along the shore. Shore gets a little sharper and drops off here. That's all right. We've walked a number of cliffs. We like that kind of surface. Actually, this is easier than some of the cliffs that we've had to do, where it's been pretty narrow and steep and sometimes wet. What an amazing shoreline, isn't it? Just think of how much we've covered. Look at the dramatic aspects that this shoreline has. Even here, 4 days to go on our, well, counting today, we're still inspired by this scenery and the land that we traverse.
As far as we can tell, we're still in Gooseberry State Park, walking a shoreline neither one of us has ever done. Off in the distance, that big hump you see there, that would be Palisade Head, where we were let's see, a couple days ago, Kat and Brian. But we found this shore. We can still walk it, so we will. We think we keep on walking it. Well, our luck has run out. Here it is, September 15th, and we have rain, and we are going to have to walk in the rain much of this afternoon on 61, which has been very busy today. But that's life. Well, we received permission to walk down the Encampment River from the Encampment River Association. And this is the bay here, and looking out at the gray lake, the islands, and the river. Not the prettiest day to be out on the lake, but just another mood. And we thank the association for giving us this opportunity. Still on 61, but for a little bit here we get a chance to get off this crazy highway and go up around the outside of the Silver Creek Cliff Tunnel. Sure would not want to be in there with the cars, but we're going to be going up on the pathway, which is the old road.
Walk in the tunnel?
No. That used to go around the outside of the cliff, so we'll get to see the old view we used to have.
Are you filming?
Yep.
Alright, well, the big part is called a diabase dike. That's what the tunnel goes through. The diabase dike is younger than the other rock. You can see ahead of us where the red rock has been really fried and changed between the massive diabase on the top and a little diabase sill that's below it. So there's a sandwich. So it cooked all that rock and made a really different texture than what it is down below. Down below is more of what it looked like at that before the intrusion. So this was a deep volcanic material that moved up near the top where it could cool relatively rapidly, but not as fast as the gabbro, but faster than its parent, which is the basalt. The reddish color is probably an andesite or something along that line. And you can see different lines of intrusion because when this fracture happened and the diabase moved in, obviously it expanded and it created new cracks and it filled those cracks. So it's really distorted and full of all kinds of variation and complexity. There goes Kate. We're taking the bicycle bypass going around Silver Creek Cliffs. I'm trying to keep this from getting rain on it. We are getting a little dampness. Minnesota tends to treat us this way when we left and now when we come back. But nevertheless, it's beautiful and we're having a good time today.